Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is your Friday Roundtable. We're going to go over the news of the week, all the things that have been happening at InsideTexas.com and on the 40 acres. To start, we're going to go to our very own recruiting expert, Mr. Justin Wells. Justin, let us know a little bit about what we should be mindful of as we're going into this maybe aspect of recruiting season. Anybody in particular we should be looking out for?
Yeah, recruiting never sleeps at Inside Texas, but this is kind of the time of the year where it is a little bit slower. Teams are a little bit more focused. Coaches a little more focused on the season, and recruiting kind of, it doesn't necessarily take a back seat, but you've got visitors that'll come in from weekend to weekend, and that's really what you pay attention to. Of note, Texas is let's talk a little bit about 2026 class, the current cycle. Texas is still wanting another DB. They really need another safety in this class, but they're still talking to a corner out of Florida named Jalen Waters. Now, he's committed to Miami right now, 6'1", about 180, a four-star corner. But I talked to him last night. Texas is still pushing there. Mark Orfe is building that relationship, and Texas is still pushing in that regard. And so they're also talking to Georgia commitment, Justice Fitzpatrick. That one is more of a just keep guys close, because you don't always know what's going to happen later in the cycle. But the newsworthy is 2026 corner Jalen Waters and Texas getting in the mix. This weekend they're going to host a handful of guys like they would any other weekend. Couple names to know: Montre Jackson, a quarterback corner out of Lakeview Centennial. I'm a big fan of this kid. He's almost 6'2". He's about 175 pounds. He's been on campus before, but Texas hasn't really pushed, and he's got probably 30-something offers. Big fan of this kid. Mark Orfe reached out this week. They've started up a new dialogue. He's going to be on campus this weekend. He's got a teammate, defensive end, in King Thibodeau from 2027, 6'3", about 250, 255. He's got a lot of upside as well. And so, again, recruiting sometimes takes a back door during early in the season, just because coaches are kind of focused on getting everything kind of rounded out for your 2025 season. But it never sleeps at InsideTexas.com. Come check us out. We're going to have a little bit more later in the day. Not to mention 2027 commit Taven Epps. He's actually going to take some other visits. He's an out-of-state edge commit out of Tustin, California. He's actually going to take some visits. Come to InsideTexas.com so you can get the latest.
Join us at InsideTexas.com. You can join for $1. That's going to also get you a subscription to The Athletic. It's InsideTexas.com. All the news that we're talking about here is going to be a lot quicker, faster updates at InsideTexas.com. So go ahead and join us there and hit that refresh button. As we move into the team news here, we're going to go over to our very own Joe Cook, who we've got some information coming in, certainly from Sark's perspective. Joe, what's going on with the team?
Yeah, the big one's injuries. It sounds what Sark said the other day was that Trey Wisner, Alex January, Emmett Mosley, and then DeAndre Moore are doubtful to out. Against UTEP, I would lean with the latter over the former. And at this point, that's when against UTEP, when you're a 42-point favorite, that's going to give you some opportunities to see some of their backups and even further backups behind them. Doesn't sound like Sark's concerned about long-term injuries with them. Just sounds like, hey, we'll give them another week or so to get right, maybe for Sam Houston State, maybe for the bye, and then, of course, for Florida. But it stinks because, DeAndre Moore is reliable. Alex January has been playing really good football. Trey Wisner is one of the top options at running back, and we still haven't seen him at Mosley. We want to see him at Mosley. I want to see him at Mosley. So the fact that those guys are doubtful to out, a little bit of a bummer, but this is a chance for Texas to throw some guys out there to get some opportunities. Sarkisian himself said, you know what, I'm excited to see someone like James Simon. And it doesn't mean I think that James Simon is going to get, first string or, early quarter snaps, but he wants to get him in the game. Dalen McCutcheon, Evan Veith over at Inside Texas wrote about how this is a big opportunity for him. Just because if Moore can't go, or even if Moore is limited to about 20 snaps or something like that, someone's got to play slot. If Mosley can't, if Moore can't, well, that's Dalen McCutcheon, and they already trust him a lot to play, against Ohio State. So now they're going to trust him with even more against UTEP. So it should be good to see him. Defensive tackle, you got the wave coming through with Murad Watson, Travis Shaw, Cole Brevard, Hero Canoe, all those guys. So I think it's going to be pretty status quo there. Maybe see some of the freshmen like Josiah Sharma, Moran Charles, but that's the big thing is, and there may be a couple other guys who don't suit up as well. We don't see on the sideline. So that's the big thing for me is, these guys who are doubtful to out, Sark doesn't have to make a clear estimation on them until conference play. That's going to open the door for some of these younger guys, especially against an opponent like UTEP, to see some more snaps, get some more action, and, dip their toe in the water and see who can maybe be used against, maybe not Florida, but maybe against teams like Vanderbilt, or who knows, maybe Vanderbilt's too good, maybe against Arkansas, or just maybe in general to see how they react when it's not practice jerseys, it's the real jerseys.
Sark is looking to open the door for some players to get to see the field. If you're looking to open the door on a new home, go visit our friend Laura Baker.
I want to tell you about Laura Baker. If you're looking for a new home in the 512, or even at this point, let's face it, 737 area code, there's only one number to call. That's Laura Baker at 512-784-0505. As a member of the elite Andy Allen team with Keller Williams, Laura has helped Longhorns find the home of their dreams in Central Texas. Just ask our resident sex symbol, Ian Boyd, who moved all the way from Michigan to Texas with Laura's help. Laura can help you find what you're looking for in the 512, the 737, or even parts of the 254 and the 210. Just, give her a call at 512-784-0505. Her email is in the description as well as the rest of her contact details. She's a friend. Give her a call.
I want to bring on the rest of the guys here, especially we're going to talk to Paul and Ian. I think if anybody was watching the deep dive this week, I think one of the things that I certainly noticed in the comment section was folks really maybe overlooking this game because we are such a point favorite. But Paul, as we're looking at this at the whole and maybe on the aggregate, what do we want to see out of this game to see either progression, or what is it something specific that you're looking for in this game?
I'd like to see a 14-0 Texas lead after the first two series of the game. Like, they need to play a lot cleaner, a lot better football right out the gate. Too many missed assignments, too many penalties. We've had consecutive opening plays where DeAndre Moore has gained between 25 and 35 yards, only to see it called back from a penalty. So that needs to not happen anymore. We also need to play with 11 men on the field. That's helpful. I did look up the rules. You could play with as many as 11 and not get a flag. Play with 10, that is a conservative approach. You're not going to be flagged. So, I mean, at a certain level, I endorse that. But I say push the boundaries, play all 11 on the goal line, and we'll have a better chance to score. And then on defense, keep it up. They've been doing a good job. Malachi Nelson is a single read quarterback. That's something Ian and I really dug into when we looked at the All-22 film study. He is a pre-snap read, single read quarterback. And if you can deny him that read, he's either going to turn it over or he's just going to become a check down artist. Utah State, which is a pretty slipshod defense, held them to 16 points. They gave up one explosive passing play. Then once they stopped playing man and just played zone coverage, UTEP never got the ball down the field again for the rest of the game. And man for man, I think Texas defense is a little bit more talented than the Utah State Aggies. So we just need to play clean football. I'm going to drop all the platitudes here. Stay within ourselves, play the game within the game. But mostly, we just need to go score a couple of times in the first couple of drives. And then for me, my own personal curveball, third series of the game, up 14-0. Let's put in all of our freshman receivers and run a series with those guys and see what that looks like and see if there's anyone that's got juice that could help us out and create a little bit more explosiveness in this offense.
Ian, this is a prime opportunity. Oh, did I surprise you there? This is a good opportunity for you to jump in. What are your thoughts on this one, Ian?
Well, Paul stole a lot of my material, but I can add Wingo in particular. They really need to get him going. It might be okay if he's not as big a part of the offense as we anticipated because Livingston and Jack injuries have been so good, but Wingo needs to be a lot better, and they're clearly trying to get him going, and it hasn't quite clicked yet. So that needs to happen. It'd be nice to see some turnovers on Malachi Nelson, not because it's something we need to see. Not really worried about the defense. Probably not going to change opinions about the defense no matter what happens in this game. But there's going to be opportunities for that, and that's always just encouraging if they can make some big plays there. That'll be rewarding for the viewers.
For the discerning football fan, and frankly, if you're serious about Texas football, I highly recommend picking up our very own Paul's book here. This is the Longhorn Football Prospectus. You may be thinking to yourself, we're in the beginning of the season. We know everything we need to know. This is one of the most in-depth and comprehensive looks at the team, our opponents, and how the season will go. The link is in the bio. Please check that out. It is worth getting. It is one of my favorite University of Texas reads. All right, guys, we are here. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Where do we see this thing going just in terms of a final score? We'll start with Eugene, Joe, then we'll go to Ian, Paul, and Justin. You get to round out the bases here today. So we'll start with you, Joe. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with Ian about who the best G5 team Texas is facing this 2025 season, and I think it's going in order of most difficult to least difficult. I know Ian may think the Bearcats may pose a better threat next week, but I think it'll be, San Jose State's probably a bowl team. UTEP might be a bowl team. Sam Houston may be a 3-win team. And I think what Texas can do to a might be a bowl team is beat the dog out of them. I think it's going to be like 49-3. I can see Texas, getting that'd be probably 12 possessions, scoring on 7 of them, maybe getting a defensive touchdown in there, which, fine. But the defense doing its thing again, limiting UTEP to 3 points, not giving up any touchdowns, and getting on to next week. Looking forward to seeing how a night game at DKR works, but one more afternoon game to whet the appetite before we get to that point.
Ian, where does Izzy land on this?
Izzy is firmly with me in a 41-6 Texas victory. I think UTEP is bad. I think that getting Malachi Nelson out of the transfer portal was probably a mistake. It's just chasing that 5-star talent, but I don't think I think he's a really bad fit for trying to beat Texas. Should be a pretty easy win for the Longhorns. Hopefully Sark gets them a little more focused to play a cleaner game so they can really maximize on all the opportunities they're going to get.
Paul?
I think it's unfair that Ian is manipulating a child to get favor for his pick.
Great.
Transparently, what happened as Joe was speaking, Ian goes and gets the baby.
Yep.
But she was perfectly fine on the floor.
In fairness, the last time it cut to me, she grabbed a keyboard and brought it behind me and started trying to jam. So I felt that this was the safer choice.
She was imitating her dad.
If it's in the cat, it's in the kitten.
That's right. All right. Here's the real score prediction. 45-6, Texas. We're going to kick 15 field goals. They're going to get 3 safeties. That's how it's going to go down. We are not going to cover the spread, Joe. Do you hear me, Joe? You need to hedge that bet, and you need to stop betting so much. It's concerning, and your wife and I have been talking about it. I'll talk to you after the show.
Paul's talking to Joe's wife in the background. So there's a lot going on here, guys. Where do you land on this one, Justin?
I think y'all are underestimating UTEP.
Oh,
they're second in the nation in tackles for loss.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think you guys are paying enough attention to it. And out of those 23, that's over 10 different players, which I thought was unique. They're actually getting some pressure in the backfield. They're causing some havoc. I'm really, really wanting this. What Paul said. 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives. Act like you've been there before. Act like you practiced it. You repped it. You know what you're doing. You got to beat the teams you have to beat. And I've seen Sark on the sideline with a 50-pound curl, so I know that he's got the right mindset. He's locked and loaded for the Miners and Scotty Walden. I got Texas winning 38-7. I think Arch will do well. I think they're going to run the ball really well. And I think they're going to check down to a guy named James Simon, because the other guys they check down to don't really gain anything when they catch the ball. I think James Simon's the one tailback in this room that can actually make something happen with a check down out of the backfield. I want to see some of these freshman receivers, like Paul said, And I want to see Texas win handily in a fun matchup, like Izzy said. So I got Texas 38-7. Watch out for Scotty Walden's Miners. He's a up-and-comer, guys. If he makes a bowl in El Paso, he is going to be a major coach at a major conference at some point. And so you better get in your digs now.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A pretty broad spread, although a pretty dominant one when you're facing the number one team called UTEP. I don't know of another team called UTEP that's ranked as highly or at all. So it's certainly something to watch out for. We thank you so much for being here. Check us out at InsideTexas.com for all the information. We got some more shows coming up as we lead up to the season, or lead up to the game, rather. Be here for us 1 hour before kickoff for our pregame show. We thank you so much for being here.